Hey, this is Gina Grad.
Hi, this is Teresa Strasser.
Hi, everyone. This is Mike Errico.
Hey there. This is Casey Cavalier.
I'm Rocky Rose.
And you are listening to The Jay Franzi Show.
Lucky you.
Welcome to The Jay Franzi Show. A behind-the-curtain look at the entertainment industry with insights you can't pay for and stories you've never heard. Now, here's your host, Jay Franzi.
And we are coming at you live. I am Jay Franzi, and joining me tonight, the Minnie to my Mickey, my beautiful co-host, Miss Tiffany Mason.
Ah, that was cute.
Aww. If you are new to the show, this is your source for the latest news, reviews, and interviews. And if you'd like to join in, comment, or fire off any questions, you can head over to jfranzi.com. And if you feel froggy, you can join our show here live if you head over to jfranzi.com/live. All right, before we get started, question of the day. Question of the day today is, what is a cover song that is better than the original? What is a cover song that is better than the original? Go ahead, put your comments in the comment section, and we will read those out a little later in the show. Fair enough?
Sounds good.
Fair enough. All right. Story time, my friend.
Story time. Get on the story mat, everybody.
One of my best friends in the whole wide world is a gentleman named Mark. He used to call him long-haired Mark because I had several friends named Mark, and my mother needed a way to identify them.
I was just going to ask if it was your mom.
Yeah. So one was long-haired Mark, one was Jewish Mark, and whoever else. So long-haired Mark, a friend of mine, also into music. We played in a band together as a youngin'. We played in a band called Burning Heart. We did that through early college days. It was a rock band, if you can imagine that.
No.
But he was a guitar player, a very good guitar player. So we formed a band called Burning Heart, and we played together for a few years, and it was a good time. But during that time, we also had an opportunity to go backstage to the Monsters of Rock tour in Maine, of all places. And we got to meet a handful of bands. We get to meet Metallica, we get to meet Scorpions and Dokken and a few others. But most importantly, we get to meet the band Van Halen, a band that both of us looked up to. So Van Halen was always one of my favorite bands. Journey, Boston, Van Halen, and Heart, the four bands that I grew up listening to the most. But we got a chance to meet them, and we got a chance to watch them perform. We were actually standing on the side of the stage and got the chance to see the whole show. It was very cool.
Oh, wow.
They were very nice people. And this was the days of Sammy Hagar, so Van Hagar. And it was a very good show. They were very nice people. We get to talk to them for quite a bit. And they were extremely fun, joking, and it was just a good time, right? They clearly enjoyed being around each other.
How old were you?
I was probably 19 at the time.
Okay.
Right out of high school, early college years. But over time, Van Halen and Sammy Hagar have kind of parted ways, and they don't seem to get along very well anymore. So I tell you this because they're in the news this week. And Sammy Hagar, now that Eddie has passed, he hasn't talked to Alex in a long time. Over 20 years he hasn't talked to Alex. They want to do a tribute for Eddie Van Halen when he passed away. Even David Lee Roth, who always butted heads with everybody, but specifically Sammy, because Sammy took David Lee Roth's place, they always butted heads. And even when they toured around together, they would butt heads on tour. But even they could agree to get together and play a show on behalf of Eddie. But Alex just would not do it. And they even wanted to have Wolfgang, which is Eddie's son, play guitar and take the role of Eddie for that night, not to ever take the place, but to take the role of Eddie for that night. But Alex just refused to do it, said it without Eddie that it's not Van Halen. And that was the end of it. So I saw that in the news today, and it just reminded me of all that.
Well, I think we were talking about bands trying to remember what the discussion was before, like the meat of the discussion or whatever, but you were talking about how they, cut like their first album or whatever, and then they all start fighting with each other and the band breaks up.
Right. Yeah.
So it was right in line with the typical rock band storyline.
Yeah. We were talking about Alice Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
Is getting together with his original band after 50 years.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Sammy Hagar, everybody says, well, it was David Lee Roth. He was there first. But Sammy Hagar put out just as much material with Van Halen as David Lee Roth did. Mm-hmm. So they both had the same amount of time, and they both put out extremely good material. Mm-hmm. And then Gary Sharon came in and took Sammy's place, Gary Sharon being the lead singer of the band Extreme. He came in and took Sammy's place, and as much as Extreme is one of my favorite bands, and Van Halen's one of my favorite bands, I do not feel like that was a good match.
Yeah.
Where Sammy's a traditional rock singer, and even David Lee Roth, not necessarily a singer, but a performer, and just a showman. Mm-hmm. Where Gary Sharon is a showman, but he's a singer, and he likes putting together these extremely complicated songs that's just not what Van Halen is. So I don't think that version of Van Halen did anything worth noting.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. That was a collab that went wrong.
I'm a big fan of David Lee Roth's version of Van Halen. I'm a big fan of Sammy Hagar's version. Most people make that divide and go one way or the other.
Not you.
No, not me. Not at all.
Can't be divided. Well, Hailstorm is in the headlines again. Last week we talked about their song coming out, Darkness Always Wins, and now we're talking about their upcoming album, Everest. It will be coming out in August, and then they will do a tour, North American and European tour, starting later this year.
Nice. We're already starting. I'm already reaching for the button. George, do me a favor, buddy. You tell me when to hit that button tonight. Okay, you get first call. Yes, George is in the house. George, you get first call tonight. As soon as you tell me to hit that button, I'm going to hit it.
You're going to be waiting. You're going to be twitching again.
Well, I know we talked about the song Darkness Always Wins last week, and
yeah,
while we both appeared to like it for the most part, it had a very slow start, and I'm anxious now to see what the rest of that album is going to be like, if it's going to take that direction, or if that was just a piece off of that album. But
yeah,
I'm also, anxious to go see him perform again. I've seen him a few times now, had a chance to take the family to see him. So I'll still look forward to that.
Yeah, you shared the pictures with me. It looked like a nice time. And you had said that Lizzie went up to your daughter and gave her a hug, and you shared pictures of that too. So that was really sweet. And just to see, see it for real, or see it in real life.
Wild. I did put that picture up on Instagram if anybody wants to check it out.
Awesome. Okay, well, Linkin Park, they too are unveiling their new single, Unshattered, ahead of their U.S. spring tour, marking a new chapter for the band. I don't know if I've heard this song. Have you heard the Unshatter song?
Yeah, I've heard their new music, and I'm anxious again to go see them perform, to see what Linkin Park is now like, having a female-fronted rock band versus a male-fronted rock band.
My guess is you'll like it better.
You think so? I don't know. I mean, they are definitely a very good band.
I know, but you gotta, your calling card is the chick-led.
I like female-fronted rock bands, but Chester, he was just awesome. So it doesn't have to be female-fronted. I just like female-fronted.
Yes. Okay, well, also in the news is Miss Metallica. We brought him up last week, sadly.
You say Miss Metallica?
Miss Metallica. Miss Metallica is in the news again.
I love you so much. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Let's start playing Enter Sandman for you.
Don't get me hot and bothered. Okay. So Metallica's M72 World Tour kicked off April 12th in Las Vegas, and they had special guests like Limp Bizkit, Suicidal Tendencies, and Pantera. The tour includes multiple North American dates before heading overseas. And I actually learned today that they have a podcast. So I wonder if that podcast will be sometimes having commentary about their tour and then how it goes overseas. So it's called the Metallica Official Podcast. It's very unique in naming.
It's very original.
Right?
I am never going to make a comment on somebody else's name.
The Jay Franzi Show.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But when I looked it up, I did see that there were other Metallica podcasts. So, I always joke like there's a podcast about that. So there's 3 podcasts about Metallica alone, which I guess I wouldn't have guessed that. But there's podcasts like us that are sheerly entertaining, but then there's podcast or Metallica that's probably just entertaining. If you have an interest, I would encourage you to look up. Of course, after listening to our episode, then look it up.
Yes, of course. I wonder if they talk to their therapist on the podcast. After seeing that, I just cannot get that out of my head. Anytime anybody even mentions Metallica at all, that's the first thing that comes to mind is their therapist.
That's so funny because I was listening to a podcast today, of course, while driving around. And the lady was talking about how she is a celebrity. And so she was talking about when she meets other celebrities and like when they're douchey or something, and then she goes to watch their movie or their show or something. And she's like, yeah, I just can't get it out of my head.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. It ruins it for you.
I'd like to see Limp Bizkit too. That's a band to me that I'm surprised they're still performing. They were so gimmicky when they first came out that it just blows my mind that they're still performing. It also blows my mind that they discovered my wife's favorite band is Stained. So it blows my mind that they discovered the band Stained.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. I'd also like to see Pantera because I didn't think they were still playing.
I didn't think either one of them were still playing.
Well, guess what? They are.
As soon as I stopped listening to them on the radio, then I assumed the band broke
just
up.
Done. It's over. Tiffany's done. It's over, folks. Anyway.
Okay. Stagecoach Festival was held April 25th through 27th in California, like we talked about. There were headline performances from Zach Bryan, No T, Jelly Roll, and Luke Combs.
At least you caught yourself that time.
I do not know how. It's like once you learn somebody's name wrong, like you just can't
get
learn
rid
it
of
the right way. No. So every time I go to say it, I always question myself now. Anywho, there were notable moments, including Post Malone bringing out Ed Sheeran and Luke Combs performing with the Backstreet Boys.
Yes. What a surprise that Post is doing a collaboration.
I know. I can't believe it. Honestly, I can't believe he has time to do them all.
I guess that's what happens when you just go on the road and play with whoever you want.
I guess. Maybe that's kind of like who he is, though, right? Because didn't you say that if he walks into a bar in Nashville and
he's the nicest
playing,
guy in the world, and he just gets up and plays with everybody. He really is. I mean, all the power to him. I mean, we joke about his collaborations, but damn, you can't get any more popular collaborating with every other popular artist out there.
Right. It's a great marketing strategy. It's probably fun.
Fair enough.
Different crowd, different
Luke
vibe.
Combs and Backstreet Boys, I don't know. Maybe. I'll have to go back and check it out.
Yeah. I don't see it. Although he can have fun, like Chicken Fried, right? That's him.
I don't think you're on with Chicken Fried.
Oh, I'm thinking Zach Brown Band. You know me.
Oh, George, how about now, buddy? Can I hit that button now?
No, because I corrected myself.
No, did okay.
Without prompting.
Well, it took prompting. I just didn't give you the answer.
Yeah, you did. Okay, you did. Okay, next story. Shaboosie, of course, we know bar song, Tipsy. It's continuing to dominate the Billboard Hot Country song charts, marking its 40th week at number 1.
It's insane.
40th week. Weren't we just reporting his 32nd or 34th week?
All the power to him. And yeah, we've been around a long time. George says not yet.
Thank you, George. Okay, so I was listening to the radio and Tipsy came on, sang along, and then it was Shaboosie, but it's not the Tipsy song, or the bar song. It was a song called Amen that he collaborated with Jelly Roll. And Jelly Roll is another one.
Another surprise.
Yeah. He's the one that's done a lot of collaborating as well. You know who I don't think has collaborated? Jelly Roll and Post Malone.
You know what? I think they have.
Oh, okay. I would.
I think
it seems
so.
like they. Yeah, I would think they have, but
Oh, you know what I didn't tell you either? On Stagecoach, you know who played Stagecoach?
Tell me now.
Stagecoach. I gotta talk slower. Do you know? Do you know who performed Stagecoach? Kevin Bacon.
No.
He
Oh,
performed Footloose.
I was gonna say.
He's got
That's
a band.
fun.
The Bacon Brothers. So
Oh, I did not know that.
yeah, and they're good.
That's
I
interesting.
gotta mention to you, maybe that should be a recommendation one day. Because apparently,
Wasn't it also at Stagecoach that the one singer brought up the other singer, and then the audience didn't know who it was?
one singer brought up the other singer?
Benson Boone brought
Yes,
up.
brought up the guitar player from the band Queen.
Yes. So
Brian
it surprises me. I think they're doing some kind of far stretches for who they're bringing on the stage. Like,
I think these things happen in the moment. I don't think they're necessarily planned out. Like Brian May was probably there, and they said, "Well, let's go ahead and do this," and they throw it together last minute.
got it.
But I don't know. Yeah,
Then Brian's like, I told you guys they wouldn't know who I was.
Post Malone and Jelly Roll performed at
Together?
Coachella. Yes, together.
But do they have anything recorded?
Girl, what do you want? Everything?
Yeah, I'm a typical woman, of course.
Yes, they have a song out called "Losers."
Oh,
There's a bar in Nashville called Losers where Post Malone hangs out and performs with other people.
oh, okay, that makes more sense.
There's a bar in Nashville called Losers. It's right next to the bar called Winners. Winners and Losers.
I'm thinking the Toby Keith song. You've got winners, you got losers.
Yep,
Yep.
that's it. Talking about the bar. Do you know that?
The bar.
I was saying he was talking about those two bars, but he wasn't.
Oh, sorry.
It's all
Sorry.
right. You don't have to be with us on the show tonight. George, is it time yet, buddy? All right, moving on. Don't mean to
No.
interrupt your flow.
Well, the next thing I was going to tell you about and probably botch is Eric Church unveiling his 2025 Free the Machine tour to support his upcoming album of Evangeline. We got to talk slow to get it right.
George,
Evangeline
you're saying not yet again,
versus the Machine. It's coming out May 2nd, so that's just Friday. The tour spans 22 North American cities from September to November with special guests Ellie King, Marcus King, Charles Wesley Godwin on select dates.
L. King, Wesley Godwin.
What did I say? Ellie King?
Ellie.
L.
She's the daughter of Rob Snyder.
Oh, okay. Isn't it nice that when you go to Google stuff, do you remember like back in the, olden days, we had to like be so specific. You couldn't misspell anything. You had to be so specific. You couldn't just be like, who is El King's dad? It would pull up like a whole bunch of mismatches. But now you can be super vague on your stuff and it like almost always gives you the information you were looking for.
I asked the woman on my phone today a question and she said, would you like me to use ChatGPT? I was like,
Oh my goodness.
guess we're going straight for that now.
Wow. I get annoyed when I say, hey, woman in the phone, text Jay Francie. And then she says, what app would you like to use?
Yeah, that's new too. I don't like that.
I don't either. Like,
I said text. Open up my texting app.
if I wanted to send a Slack message or a WhatsApp message, I mean, I don't know.
I'm with you, sister.
Not impressed with that.
You. George, get on the phone. Call up Mark. Have him fix that, please. Actually, no, wait. I'm sorry. That's Apple.
Not Mark.
Call up
Yeah.
somebody from Apple. Just get it taken care of.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you want to talk about Morgan Wallen or are you feeling like it's old news?
We've talked about him a bit. Is there anything interesting to talk about?
I mean, he's got a new #1 song, I'm the Problem. It's on the radio. It's actually his 17th chart-topping single.
I'll tell you what. When he hits 40 weeks, we'll talk about
Okay, sounds good.
Either that, Morgan, or you come on jfrenzy.com/live, and then we'll talk to you then.
Okay, last one. In other news, Billy Ray Cyrus, your BFF, and Elizabeth Hurley from Austin Powers are rekindling their relationship after meeting on the set of a holiday movie in 2022. The movie was called Christmas in Paradise.
Nice, huh?
Yeah, they went Instagram official on April 20th.
Nice. Have you seen any of those photos?
Yeah, she's still looking like a smoke show, but he's looking like his
I think his
inauguration
hair is as long
performance.
as hers at this point. I don't know. Hey,
He clearly doesn't have a image team or anything anymore.
maybe that is his image. We don't know. I'll tell you, he was just the nicest guy ever. So,
Yeah. Well, she cleans up so good. I'm surprised she doesn't want a more manicured man.
All right, well,
We all have our standards.
if either of you would like to come on and discuss your relationship, that's fine too.
We do not discriminate, and if you want to say your side, we'll hear you out.
Yeah, we'll hear either side. We're good either way. Reach out to George or just join us here at jfrenzy.com/live. George at jfrenzy.com. We got to give him an email address. He's here so much.
That sounds good. Make him more of a permanent fixture.
There you go. George, that's your new email address. George at jfrenzy.com.
We'll check it for you. What are you saying to me? Oh, man. George is calling me out. He's saying Tiffany will have a memorable fail.
He says, yes, please. I assume that means to your email address. All right, there you go.
I don't know. I might restrict email access if he's going to say.
Block his emails.
I guess he said memorable. It's probably good. It's probably positive. Memorable has a positive
George
connotation
is
for me.
negative. George is not negative.
No, he's not.
We're usually the negative people. Are we talking about the question of the day?
Yeah. Refresh your memory. What was it?
What is a cover song that is better than the original?
Ooh.
What is a cover song that is better than the original? All right, I'll go ahead and kick it off. We mentioned Van Halen earlier. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Van Halen was known for throwing cover songs onto their albums to round off their albums at the beginning of time.
Oh.
One of the songs they did was a song called You Really Got Me, originally done by the Kinks. So the Kinks did a great version, and Van Halen also did a great version. It's hard to say that one was better than the other, but a notable cover tune nonetheless.
Yep.
So
I like that one. I like both of them.
no,
I would agree with that commentary.
we're giving commentary. We're official. We're still waiting on the White House to reach back out to us and let us know if we're allowed to come in or not. But if they watch this show, they know we shouldn't be in there. But I'm assuming they're not watching, so therefore...
Did you
we have a
actually
shot.
hear that the first podcaster got in?
Yes, I heard that.
Yes. Yes.
Anxious to see how that went.
Yeah.
How long that lasts. But that's all right. We're on the waiting
Probably a
list.
cool experience nonetheless.
Yeah, I think we're number 632,000.
George, can you check on that?
Yeah, George, get on it. Reach out to the White House.
All right. I would say Live and Let Die. Paul McCartney and the Wings originally did it. It's okay. And it's just during my growing up years. So Guns N' Roses did it. And I think that they did do it better because
Live and
it was
Let Die.
rock.
You said Paul McCartney. Wasn't that a Beatles tune? George Martin. That gives me an indication that it's probably the Beatles. Written by Paul McCartney and his wife, Linda McCartney. Ooh, you might be right. Produced by George Martin. All right, I'll give it to
How
you.
much did Paul McCartney get paid for Live and Let Die?
How much did you get paid for it? Man,
$50,000.
That's it.
Chump change now, but that was a lot of money back in the day.
That's a lot of money now. I mean, we don't all live large like you, have boats and golf carts. And,
Oh God! Stop!
I'm just throwing that out there.
Stop!
All right, I think it's Wings. I think you're correct. I am not wrong, but you are right. There you go. All right, George, we're waiting on you, buddy. We need a cover song. Cover song that you think is better than the original. In the meantime, George, I'm going to move on to Amanda, who says, Nothing Compares to You, originally done by Prince, but covered by Sinead O'Connor. And you know what? I'll agree with it. I think Prince is by far the better artist, but I think her version of the song is better for sure.
I did not hear what you said.
Tiffany, you're fired.
George, I don't even need to wait for you anymore, buddy. There you go. She's gone. Out. Nothing compares to you, Prince, Sinead O'Connor. I like Prince better, but Sinead O'Connor did a better job on that song.
Yeah, I just missed the thing.
Just missed the conversation.
The title. No, the title. I think that she did better too. I think there's more emotion, which I'm a big fan of the emotion. So, and she kind of goes airy in her falsetto, and I like that.
Okay, fair enough.
And I'm not a big Prince fan. I'm okay with Prince, but Mr. Mason is a big Prince fan because he's from Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Prince is just an amazing talent. Was an amazing
Is he?
talent.
Why?
Well, you play every instrument. He wrote all those songs. He's written hit songs for a whole ton of other artists. Even the song, what was it, Manic Monday? Mm-hmm. He wrote that song and just gave it as a gift.
Oh, wow.
And he saw whatever band that was. I forget now.
Bengals?
Yes, thank you. And he just gave her the song. Said he didn't know her. He just said, hey, I wrote this song and I think you'd be good at it. And just handed it to her and then left. And They recorded it and huge hit, their biggest hit. So yes, Prince is absolutely amazing talent. Absolutely.
Wait, didn't they also sing "Walk Like an Egyptian"?
Yes, ma'am. You're right. Toss up there. It's close. I'll go with you. I don't like you anymore. All right. George says, "Oh, the Beach Boys and Laurie Morgan." Don't worry, baby. All right, fair enough. 1996, he even adds a date. George is good at this stuff.
He looked it up. He went on the Google
as well.
Is that what he
did? All right, fine. Ethan, buddy, Black Magic Woman, originally by Fleetwood Mac, made popular by Santana.
I know the Fleetwood Mac version, and we know I like Fleetwood Mac, so.
I went to see Fleetwood Mac. I got passes, went to see him. I just nothing at all for me.
I would guess it's more of a performance than like they're just standing singing. Like it's not like crowd involvement or like, on American Idol, they're always like, own the stage. You have to fill up the whole stage. I would guess they don't fill up the whole stage.
No. I mean,
I could see that.
Santana, another amazing artist.
I love me some Santana.
Been around since the 70s. Do you know who the original guitar player for Santana was? Even though Santana's a guitar player. But it was Neil Schon, the guitar player for Journey.
Oh.
So he was the original guitar player for Santana at the age of, any guesses?
22.
Oh, so close, but not close at all. 15. So, and then Greg Raleigh was the keyboard player for Santana at the time, and both Greg and Neil Schon left the band to form their own band that they called Journey because they had the same manager, Santana, and then Journey went on with the same manager and formed Journey, and they needed a singer. Greg Raleigh was the singer up until they found Steve Perry.
Oh, wow.
There you go. A little bit of Santana and Journey history.
Well, I just wrote down Santana Into the Night because I really love that song by them, and I have not thought of Santana for a long time. So I'm going to fire it up.
See? We need to thank Ethan for that. Thank you, Ethan.
Thank you, Ethan.
Greg agrees with you. Live and Let Die, Paul McCartney, and Wings. Okay, fine. Paul McCartney and Wings. And I do believe Guns N' Roses version. I like that better. Jessica, as long as we're talking about Guns N' Roses, says Knocking on Heaven's Door, originally done by Bob Dylan, covered by Guns N' Roses.
Now I'm going to share something that is going to you might fall off your stool. Okay. You're just going to dunk right off. But I am sad to say, I don't really know a lot of like Bob Dylan stuff. Like, I guess that's something I need to like
You don't have to be
pull
sad
up
for that.
and listen to.
No,
Oh, I feel like everybody says he's so amazing.
I think he's overrated.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's just my opinion.
then I guess you won't fall off your stool. No injuries tonight. That's good.
No, it's all right for you not to know him. I don't know.
Okay.
While I'm thinking about it too, I don't want to miss the opportunity to just mention real quick that High Mountain Breezes have got yet another #1 hit overseas.
Oh, what is it?
So, Drift Away. Drift Away goes #1 again. So, just throwing that out there.
That's what happens when you get a bunch of talented people together and then form a band and put awesome music out.
There you go. Ben agrees with me with You Really Got Me, the Kinks and Van Halen. Lucy, better not be my Lucy. Lucy, you better be sleeping. Your mommy will be mad at me. Lucy's only 10, still in elementary school. Lucy says, I'm a Believer, originally done by Neil Diamond, but made popular by the Monkees.
I would love to hear the Neil Diamond version of that. Because the Monkees version is upbeat, right? And so I don't feel like Neil Diamond's like, yeah, you really got me now.
Not even the same song, but
Oh my
Tiffany,
God.
you're fired. Goodbye.
I was thinking that was
I'm
after
a Believer.
I'm a Believer.
There you go.
No. I do know the song. For some reason, I put them together. It was a mashup. I was doing a collab.
Is that what it was? Oh, mashup and a collab. I like it. There you go. You're just all over the place tonight.
It's a new style.
Oh, folks, if you come to us for accuracy.
My God.
Oh, the Monkees. Originally engineered by. No.
Jay Francie.
No good. No, I would have been what, 3, 10 maybe. It was engineered by Bob Bullock.
Oh, very cool.
Again, he didn't have me on that one. Thanks, Bob.
Rude.
I know.
He wasn't hiring 3-year-olds.
I don't know how old I had to be old enough. I watched the Monkees on TV. Tyler, Sounds of Silence. There you go. By far. I think that's the
Sound.
winner for the night. Simon and Garfunkel covered by Disturbed. Dear God, no better version than Disturbed.
I agree 100%. And I agree that might be the one of the night.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. And I didn't think about it, but Beat It by Michael Jackson, covered by Dave Cook. Dave Cook from American Idol. To me, by far a better version than Michael Jackson.
I'm going to write it down. I'm going to go watch it.
Dave Cook, Beat It. And if you want to take that a step further, Eddie Van Halen played guitar for Michael Jackson on the song Beat It.
Really?
So when you go back and listen to Michael Jackson's version of Beat It, pay attention to the guitar. I mean, it was a big deal. You can go research. There was a story there.
Interesting. I just might.
Victoria chimes in, yes, Billie Jean by Michael Jackson, but covered by the Civil Wars. I don't know that version, but thank you for pointing it out. Now I have homework.
Usually it's just me.
Yeah.
I didn't know co-hosting this show came with homework.
Homework. Oh, I didn't know I was going to have homework, but guess what? I do. Hannah's
School's
chiming
back
in.
in
I don't know if this is your daughter. I'm assuming not, but she says Higher Ground by Stevie Wonder, covered by the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I cannot comment because I don't know either. But my guess is the Red Hot Chili Peppers is better because, I don't know, I probably like Red Hot Chili Peppers better than Stevie Wonder. He's okay.
He's so talented.
I know, but it's not like if I'm going to pull up music to just like listen to and chill out.
He's talented. I mean, it wouldn't be the first thing I would reach for, but he's super talented.
Agreed.
Travis, buddy, I think I agree with you on this one. He says La Bamba. Originally by Richie Valens, covered by Los Lobos.
Agreed.
Good movie, too.
Very good movie. Every time that movie's on, I like to watch it, but it hasn't been on very much anymore. Used to be on a lot.
All right, let's get through some of these so we can move on with life. Sean says, a little help from my friends, originally by the Beatles, covered by Joe Cocker. Oh, you cannot miss with a Joe Cocker song.
I agree. Will not argue with you.
Camille or Camellia?
Camila.
Camilla.
Not Camellia.
I don't know.
Camila.
Camila. Sorry. We know we're not good with names. She says Time After Time, originally by Cyndi Lauper, and she says by Iron and Wine. I do not know that version. But I will tell you, Time After Time is one of my favorite songs, and it's been covered by so many different bands.
And I love it in movies.
I love it when rock bands do it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, when rock bands cover that song, I think it's really good.
Maybe Iron and Wine is a rock band.
Maybe. I don't know. More homework.
You go to the next one, I'll look it up.
More homework. Oh, I love it. And we might have the chance to go see Cyndi Lauper coming up. Coming here in what month is she coming here?
July.
Is it July? Rocky Rose. Rocky Rose. Yep. Thank you for that, Rocky Rose. I appreciate it. Rocky Rose is out with Cyndi Lauper right now. They are overseas. She is the keyboard player, and I always say it, I will say it again, she is by far one to follow on Instagram. Her Instagram is just so good.
Keeping you really entertained.
Yes. She's just always got pictures from the road and different shots of her on stage, the band on stage, but she always has the backstage stuff going on where she's going around Japan.
They're just like cool shots too.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
All right, Faith says, I Drove All Night by Roy Orbison. I got to talk slower. Covered by Cyndi Lauper. There you go.
Maybe we'll hear it.
You say it 3 times and here she appears. Cyndi Lauper, Cyndi Lauper, Cyndi Lauper. jfranzy.com/live. Alex says, My Way.
I did it my way.
Okay, no. It's by Claude Francis. I'm just going to say Francis.
Let's
Claude Francis. But covered by Frank Sinatra. I did not realize that was a cover.
I did not either.
All right.
Alexa is very wise.
Just blowing through our list. Oh, cannot skip this one. Penelope says Fast Car by Tracy Chapman, covered by Luke Combs.
So good.
I think the Tracy Chapman version's better.
Yes, me too. Agreed.
It's a great song.
I was hooked on this song, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, and I kept playing it on the golf cart, and Hannah kept getting so mad at me. She's like, this song sucks. And then it came out on the radio, and I was like, yes, we get to listen to it all the time now, Hannah.
Nice. That's a great song. It really is a great song. And Tracy Chapman's an amazing artist. She was discovered in Boston at Harvard Square. She was just sitting there playing an acoustic guitar in Harvard Square. She got discovered.
Busking.
And yes, that's very nice. Look at you. You can stay for another 5 minutes. George, hold off on that firing.
You mean it?
But she was discovered in Boston, and she recorded at the studio that I worked at. I did not get to record her, but she did record there. ESS Productions in Boston.
Dang.
No longer there. That's all right.
Womp womp.
Yep.
But don't you know you're still standing better than you ever did?
All right. And finally, Gianna, Wiki Games by Chris Isaac, covered by Stone Sour.
I don't know Stone Sour, but damn, Chris Isaac did a good job with that song.
Stone Sour rock band. So I have not heard their version, but I will definitely go listen to it now. More homework. I'm sorry, one more. I know I said that was the last one, but one more. Billie Jean again. Brooklyn says Billie Jean, originally by Michael Jackson, but covered by Chris Cornell. And the reason I'm going to go with it is because there was a controversy when Dave Cook sang the song. He got all this praise for being so original and singing it on American Idol, and it was just an amazing cover version of the song. And then people said, well, Chris Cornell did the same version before him, so he just copied Chris Cornell. I don't know if he did or not. They're similar, yes, but if you're gonna go by that, Chris Cornell did release it first.
Okay, well, since you got one more, I get one more. So I like that Sarah said, "I Will Always Love You," originally by Dolly Parton, but then covered by Whitney Houston.
Yeah, I will say Whitney Houston did a bang-up job on that song. She really did.
Mm-hmm.
She's just not my favorite. No, she used to be. I used to buy her albums and stuff. I really liked her at the beginning, but she went off the rails at the end, and I just, again, now that she went off the rails, I just can't get that out of my mind.
Yeah.
All right.
Too bad for you. Still sounds good to me. All right. Well, speaking of New York City, I think Jay Leno.
No.
No, where is he?
He's from Boston. He lives in Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, he's briefly he briefly took over the Tonight Show monologue, delivering sexual harassment themed humor that sparked mixed reactions. Wow. In this day and age, you can be too careful, and he probably should have been more careful. Although, if it's on the Tonight Show, it's probably scripted, but nonetheless.
Jay Leno is the cleanest comedian to ever live. I cannot imagine that he has done anything too far off the path. Mm-hmm. To give you a little bit of background on Mr. Leno, he has gotten in feuds with people over his late night talk show and stuff.
Okay.
And he always takes the higher ground. When he was supposed to take over for Johnny Carson, and I mean, he filled in, he subbed for Johnny all the time. He was the next person in line. And then they gave it to Conan O'Brien. He let it go. He didn't fight over it. He didn't want to dispute over it. He took the higher ground. 'Cause, I mean, he's friends with Conan O'Brien too, both of them from Boston. And I mean, he was fine with it. However, Jimmy Kimmel, not my favorite, he went on Jay Leno's show and actually took jabs at him over the feud with Conan. So he took jabs at him.
That kind of didn't even occur.
On his show. He was a guest on Leno's show and took jabs at him. And while Jay didn't appreciate it, he didn't really consider Jimmy Kimmel much of a friend after that. But he still let the jabs air. And he was told, we'll cut them all out. And Leno said, no, go ahead and keep them in. And I mean, he's always taken the higher ground. So,
wow.
He let Kimmel rip him apart on his own show just because he didn't want to be the guy to edit it out. So I have nothing but respect for him. If you want to take that respect one step further.
I do want to, please.
One step further. His wife, they've been together forever. I don't know how many years. Say 40, 50 years, whatever it's been. Long time relationship from back in Boston. And he's never left her side.
From Boston.
He truly is connected with his wife. Well, his wife is very sick and needs constant care. And he is decided to be the person to give her that care. He will not put her in a home, won't do anything.
Wow.
And he's staying by her side till the end, he said.
That's admirable.
He is a stand-up guy. I don't care what anybody says. Nice guy.
Wow.
There you go.
That's interesting to learn.
2 cents.
It's interesting, too, to be around all of the, sin. All the debauchery in LA and not, let it seep in.
He never partaked in any of it. He doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. He doesn't do drugs at all. I mean, he's a very clean comedian. I mean, very clean. That's why I don't think he's ever said anything too far off the path. And I went to see him here perform at the Hard Rock Casino just last year. He was with Arsenio Hall and the other late night talk show hosts. I think there was like 4 of them. And it was okay. It was very clean. It was like watching their monologues, one after another after another. So his YouTube channel, he does Jay Leno's Garage, where he talks about all his cars.
Yeah.
I like that too. I watch that all the time.
Did your daughter watch it with you?
Yes, as a matter of fact. Both Bella and Lucy, I think, watched it at some point, but Bella's watched it with me. And Bella and I actually went to a car show in Cincinnati where one of the cars that was featured on his show was appearing. And we got to see the car and talk to the guy who owned it and got to hear the whole behind-the-scenes story. It was pretty cool. And I didn't know if my daughter would like something like that, but she did like it. And she collects cars now, like Matchbox cars and that type of stuff, as collectibles.
She's going to be the 40-year-old virgin that has them all displayed around her house in the box still.
Nice. Yeah. She's got a few collectible things that she refuses to take out of the box. I don't know. I mean, I get it. And I don't think she does it as collectibles. I think she just wants to use the stuff as decorations.
Well, my husband used to work at Toys R Us. And when I met him, so we had a very short courtship. And then he was getting relocated and asked me if I would move with him. And I was like, I could do that. So we're we're at the new digs, right? We're unpacking all of our boxes. New lot. And he pulls out a Barbie, and I was like, what are you doing with a Barbie? But because he worked at Toys R Us, he learned that the holiday Barbie was collectible. And so he bought one, and then he kept it forever. And literally, we did open it and give it to Hannah.
And there goes all the value of that thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, some broken limbs, some haircut, It's fine.
George said he had a chance to see Jay Leno. He said that he was a very kind person.
Story checks out. Jay wasn't lying.
There you go.
I gotta fact check you. All right. Well, Pete Davidson, if you don't know who this is, if it helps you, listeners, he did date Kim Kardashian for a small amount of time.
Is that the connection? Is this how we're going to know who he is?
That's the connection. That's how people are going to remember. Oh, that's who Pete Davidson is. He is on Saturday Night Live, but he said that he is returning to stand-up after a concerning Instagram post performing material about Louis C.K. and Ariana Grande. Now, you had something you wanted to say about this. Louis, that's what I said. That's what I said. Louis C.K.
Yeah.
That's what I said. You just didn't hear me.
Louis C.K. is probably, was my favorite comedian. Probably still up there. His style of humor and his style of stand-up is the style that I liked and similar to the type of stuff that I would do. I like, story type stuff, not just your typical knock-knock jokes or whatever. I like going up and telling more of a story.
One of these times you need to share some of your material. Listeners, I want you guys to weigh in. Do we want to hear some of Jay's stand-up material? Because I think we do.
We had a short little drop out there.
Is that right?
Let's go ahead and pick up and move on, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. This Pete Davidson, he seems like a nice enough guy, but he's had some issues. George is chiming in, yes. And he's got some excited marks next to it. I say excited
because he really wants to hear it.
My daughter Lucy calls them excited marks. So
cute.
Anyway, yeah, Pete Davidson, he's a funny dude. He's funny on the show, that type of stuff. But he's got some mental issues. He's been suicidal in the past and stuff. And right before one of the episodes of Saturday Night Live, after this whole Ariana Grande thing went down, there was a song or something released, and he read it right before he went on stage, and he just had the hardest time getting through the performance that night. He had people in for the show and everything, and that's how he finds out about it that night. It had to be pretty rough on the guy.
Yeah.
But he took some pot shots at both Grande and CK. And CK has done some stuff in the past. He's not without sin by any stretch. He's had some serious issues in the past that have caused him to be canceled for a period of time, but he came back. And we'll let that be all on its own. If you want to know more about that, just search up Louis C.K. and controversy. I'm sure you'll find all the information you need. I'm sure you can pull something out anyway.
Well, and it's like I said earlier, you don't have to be very specific. It'll find the stuff for you.
There you go. But yeah, he made some pot shots at him over some of CK's new material.
Well, I don't know if it's Ruffin or Ruffin, Amber Ruffin, the host of the Amber Ruffin Show on Peacock, recently pulled from the White House Correspondents' Dinner. So she was supposed to perform, but she got caught being colorful with her language earlier, or reckless with her language earlier in the week. And so they said, you know what, we don't want you to, you're basically uninvited to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And initially she was like, okay, you know, I was saying some things that were probably not appropriate. And then, you know, everybody started chiming in and saying, no, they're taking your free speech away from you. And then she was like, wait, yeah, they did take my free speech away from me. So then she proceeded, when she was hosting Late Night with Seth Meyers, which she does, she decided to throw some additional colorful language out about her getting canceled on that performance. So sounds like everybody is using SNL to air their dirty laundry.
That's not SNL.
Oh, no, yes, it is. Late Night with Seth Meyers. That's one of the segments. What am I thinking
It's
of?
a talk show.
Okay, what am I
It's
thinking
like
of?
Jay Leno and all of those.
What is the segment on Saturday Night Live when they do like the news?
A weekend update.
I thought it was Weekend Update. There we go. Okay, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
And Seth Meyers, I don't think even is on Saturday Night Live anymore.
No,
I'll tell you
because
what.
you know why? Because he's got his own talk show.
Right?
Anyways, yeah. I mean, I'm all for free speech. Don't get me wrong by any stretch, but don't get this wrong either. Free speech, it does not come without consequence.
Right?
So
Yeah. And they didn't take it away from her. They didn't say she couldn't say the
has
things
it.
she said.
She just doesn't get to go to the White House now.
Right.
So there you go.
You canceled yourself.
I guess that happens. So the recommendation that I brought up last week was from a band called Shaboosie, and the song is called Like a Drum. I mentioned it because they were always one of my favorite bands. I knew them for years now. I've seen them perform, I would say, since 1999-ish.
That's crazy.
Somewhere in that ballpark. No, you know what? Before that. Wow, it's been a long time. But I lived in New York when I had the studio and all that stuff. And I would go out and see bands play. And I saw this band called Shaboosie. I really, really liked them. I saw them when they first formed. I mean, literally at the very, very beginning. They were still performing.
When they had 5?
Well, I saw that too. But they were performing with another band, and then they left and formed a band of their own called Shaboosie when they were 5 members. We mentioned they had trouble keeping other members. They had trouble keeping guitar players and drummers. She was the singer, Melanie, the singer, and her husband, Rich, is the bass player. And they've decided to form a duo and do it all themselves. So we've mentioned in the past, I'll mention it really briefly, that she plays the drums, she plays bass on trigger pad, she plays the flute. I mean, just crazy stuff. And he plays guitar now, and he plays bass as well, and he also plays bass pedals with his feet. So it sounds like a full-blown band when they perform together, and that's how he sold it to me when he first did it. So I went out and I checked them out, and it did, and they are awesome. Now they're touring the country. They play shows every night of the week. They're just absolutely amazing. So I brought that up to you. I suggested that you go see them perform. You had a chance to do that. You even did an episode of it on your show.
Yep.
And since then, I'm just mentioning the song Like a Drum because it was the theme song of the show at the very beginning of time. They allowed me to use it, and YouTube decided that was not going to work for them. So we stopped using it. However, not because of Shaboosie, we stopped using it because of the fight with YouTube. Let's hear your thoughts on it, and we can talk a little bit more in detail.
I did like the song. I like Shaboosie in general. I like Melanie and her hubby. And I really liked that at the beginning, they have like the clapping. So I can imagine in a live setting, I know I was there in live, but a little bit different than a concert setting. It was more of like, you know, a patio, you know, evening dinner, music being played. But in a concert setting, I would feel like the entire audience would start clapping just because you just want to. You want to be a part of that music the minute it starts. So I really liked that. And then it was easy to sing along with because she repeats, some of the lyrics, which is common, but it's like, beat my problems like a drum. And it just, I don't know, it sticks with you. It rolls off the tongue easy. So it's fun to sing along. And then I think we talked before when a song ends and it sounds like they've ripped the cord out of the electric guitar.
Yeah.
Or ripped the plug out or whatever. And I like, this is another ending, another kind of classic ending that I like, where the drum kind of like trails off by itself. And that's the last thing that you hear. So similar odd ending or unique ending or whatever I'm trying to say. But I really liked it. I liked it a lot.
Now, in addition to them performing and doing everything on their own, Rich also engineers their music. So he records it all on their own. He mixes it. He does the whole thing. He puts the whole thing together. Now, I would have liked to have worked on their projects in the past, but he does it all himself and he does a good job, so he doesn't necessarily need any assistance. So, and I'm sure that way they do whatever they want, whenever they want, and however they want.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes, not. They are able to do it as a good thing because they get the sound that they're looking for. A lot of people think that they can do all the different parts, but they can't quite meet the mark. So they still need a specialist to be able to tweak the buttons and do things to get to what they are truly looking for.
So let's say that I think I can do it all, right? And I start putting my music out on Instagram or YouTube or TikTok, and I don't really know who grabs me. Is it a PR firm? Is that what basically happens? And they say, hey, we like your music. We want to work with you. And then the PR firm sets them up with like a audio engineer or something. And that's how it gets more like on point. Or what is that process? Because
a PR firm's not the person. A PR firm promotes your stuff once it's complete, where a development company is typically what you're thinking of, where as an artist development person, if you see somebody who's got raw talent and you want to go ahead and put some energy into that person and develop their talent, and usually you're doing that in hopes that when they make it big that you get a piece of the pie.
right.
Or you charge them a fee up front for doing it, either way. But you're developing them because you know more than they do, and you're able to polish their music and get them to a point that they probably would not be able to do on their own. And that could be whether or not they need a co-writer. That could be polishing their songs yourself. You can help them write their songs. Then you can help produce them or find a producer for them. You can take them into a studio and get the right engineer to mix or master the stuff for them. And you're just basically developing them, getting them from point A to point Z, just one step at a time. And then you hopefully get them a record deal, which would give them that big payout. And then they go on the road and you get paid out. And whether or not you produce them or help them in the future, that's usually where you part ways with them. Yeah. However, a record label A&R rep would go out and try to discover talent and then develop them to an extent and then put their music out and hopefully sell some records.
And I feel like I've heard what it stands for 6 million times, but A&R stands for
Artist and Repertoire.
Oh, definitely not what I was thinking. Okay, I'm glad I asked. Okay, so there's that. Okay.
Now, if you wanted to be technical, I'm sure there's some things that engineers or producers may have done differently. But I think overall, from the artist point of view and the artist putting the records together, they sound really good.
Isn't that true for every song, though? I mean, depending on who the engineer is and the producer,
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna have a
Everybody will
different
do
sound
something
anyway,
different,
so.
for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody does something different. We talked about our potential grading system, the way we look at songs. And it's how well the song was written, how well it's performed, and then the production that goes into the song. So I think if we were to rate this particular song or discuss those particular points, I think the song is fairly well written. It's a song about beating your demons. And in her case, she beat cancer. So, and Melanie, if I'm misspeaking, please correct me. But she beat cancer, and that was my understanding of the story behind that song is she's beating it like a drum.
I like that.
As far as the writing of the song, I think it was very good. The performance of the song is spot on. I think that's where they shine the most, is in the performance of their material.
Mm-hmm.
And then their production, I would say, I think it's very good. So if there was anywhere in their chain that they could improve on, I would say it would be the production itself.
Fair enough.
But overall, spot on.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, are you ready for a recommendation from me?
I am, but before you do, George, chime in and let us know if you have any thoughts on the song.
Or anybody else listening.
Well, anybody else, but George got homework. He was supposed to go listen to it.
Okay.
So
Fair enough.
We have to hold him accountable. I have a button for him. Don't make me press it, George. Getting it ready just in case. But yes, if anybody wants to chime in on the song, please let us know your thoughts for sure. All right.
Okay. Well, in listening to the radio.
George says he's fired.
George, you're fired.
Oh, George.
How did I find this song? I think I played one song, which, Apple Music does like Spotify now, where it'll just like keep suggesting, it'll start playing new songs that are similar to the one that you requested. And this one came on, and it is God and Guns N' Roses by Tyler Braden.
God and Guns N' Roses.
God and Guns N' Roses.
I have heard of it.
Oh, you have? It was pretty good. It kind of has a feel to the song that was recovered, or what am I trying to say? That was just covered, sorry, by Jody Messina, the Heads Carolina, Tails California. Kind of has that, where they're taking one song and they're using the words of that song in the new song.
Yes. You cannot mention Jody Messina without saying another person from Boston.
Oh, and a redhead.
And a redhead, yes.
I think all redheads come from Boston. I'm convinced of it now.
Is that what it is? What other redheads come from Boston?
Conan O'Brien?
That's a true statement.
There's one more.
No, there's plenty of them, but just trying to think of who you're thinking of.
There was one more that you pointed out to me.
Bill Burr.
Yes, that's who we were talking about.
Brother of Billy Corgan.
Oh, yes.
That went over really well, by the way. Smashing Pumpkins. That was on Howie Mandel's podcast.
Yeah.
Howie does
I remember you
stuff.
talking about it. Yeah.
That was a very, very uncomfortable moment.
I remember you talking about it, but I couldn't. That was the other redhead that we talked about. Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, so go check it out. You're gonna like it. So get used to liking all my song recommendations.
Is that what it is?
It's okay if you put it on repeat.
Is that what it is? Put it on repeat? I'll do
You're
it.
probably gonna call me and thank me for how good it is.
Okay. George, you heard it, buddy. She might get fired
a
before the
country
show
song.
even starts next week.
Well, I am very, very, very proud. This is maybe I'm not sure if any of my kids have ever made me more proud than this. So Preston is graduating.
Make the others feel really good.
It's okay, because once I give the explanation, they'll be fine with it. Because
This better
he
be
is
good.
graduating from college with a kinesiology major. He has been on the dean's
what?
list for the last kinesiology. It's like how the cells react to muscles and bones and how the whole body moves, and a lot of physics, calculus.
So he's wicked
statistics.
smart.
He's wicked smart. He could be a physical therapist, but he doesn't really want to be. He wants to be like in the hospitals, or he wants to be more clinical. He doesn't really want to be like stretching people and doing physical therapy actually. But what he has realized
Boats,
is
golf carts, and doctors. It's all right. Hey.
oh my gosh. So
Someone lives a charmed life.
no. So but I did not go to college. My husband has a 2-year associate's degree. My mom did not graduate high school. She did go back and get her GED. My dad, I think, did finish high school. So this is like a huge, huge deal that we have a college graduate. Like
Nice.
yeah, and he's been on the dean list for 3 years.
Preston, congratulations.
I mean, it is like so amazing. I'm so excited. And I feel absolutely terrible that this like amazing, monumentous thing is going to happen. But honestly, he goes to bed very early because he works very early in the morning. And he's a phlebotomist right now. And they are going to, what?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is really cool. And he actually found out through his work, they will pay for him to go back for one more year of school and he will be a nurse. So he wants to maybe be a traveling nurse, which would allow him to be hands-on and doing all the things. And this kid, ever since he was little, I always said he was like MacGyver and Ranger Rick, two rolled into one, because he loves like the outdoors and being like, pocket knife and skinning stuff and hunting and fishing. He loves all that stuff, but he also does love like guts and all that stuff too. So like blood does not bother him, obviously, if he's doing a phlebotomy, but he really wants to be like hands-on with patients and like, helping them and I don't know, drawing blood or I don't really know. I don't know what he wants to do, but he just wants to be more hands-on with patients. So he's very excited about that opportunity. And he's even more excited that his school or his work will pay for it. So I'm glad he's finally using a few things to his benefit. He has wisened up. His frontal cortex must be getting close to being completely formed because he also thinks that we know stuff now. So very exciting. So
When you say we, you mean me and you, right?
I met my husband and
I would say
yes.
We've proven tonight we don't know much.
No. Sean does. Sean knows a lot.
Showing off again. Man.
And then little Hannah, originally I was supposed to do Preston's graduation, drop Hannah off at her cheer competition, and my husband was going to drop me off at the airport because I am very excited. I'm going to go up to Rhode Island, and my client has a podcast. She's calling it the Soundstage.
You going
and
this
I'm going to be
weekend?
running this weekend. Saturday. So I have a jam-packed weekend, and I have got new clients, which means I'm behind on publishing my own podcast. That's the way it goes. But so I'll get another episode out soon. Daryl Stevens. I can't remember what song he and I talked about.
Oh, don't even try to guess.
I know. I can never remember. I've got too much stuff floating around in my brain.
Yes,
but
that's what it is. Is there
It's
too much
the
stuff
brain.
floating around in there, or is there just too much space for what's in there?
He did Give Me Your Love. That's what he did.
Oh,
So
he's such
we'll
a
be-
nice guy. What song did you guys do?
Give Me Your Love.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. It makes more sense now.
Think I was asking you to give me your love, Jay? I would never be so forward.
No, you don't have to be forward. You can just have it. I have no use for it anymore. My wife's already beat me down. You can just take whatever else I have. Take my love, take it all. Well, the reason I can't be in Boston this weekend, which this is a yearly event that I am upset that I'm missing. The school has a yearly event where we get to go back and do some continuing education and some networking.
Oh, cool.
And I just basically get to see the people I went to school with. So it's a good time. And we go out to dinner, drinks, and do all that fun stuff. But it's not going to happen for me this year because my daughter Lucy has got a dance competition. And this one is in Indiana, and it's at a casino. So it should be a good time nonetheless. Go to Indiana, go to a casino, lose even more money. But she had a competition last weekend and has another one this weekend. And then the next one is the Nationals. So she came in first place and best overall last week.
Mm-hmm.
She's very good. I'll give it to the girl. She's a very talented girl. So I'm happy for her. I'm happy for the rest of her dance team. They did actually perform very well. They did this one song called New York, New York. It's a performance called New York, New York. It's over several songs, but everybody said it was the best they've ever performed it.
Oh, wow.
I'm very proud of her. I mean, like I said in
Yeah.
the past, she's only 10. She performs with girl's much older than her and holds her own. She's the one that does all the acrobatics through the performances and stuff. She does all the flips and the jumps and everything. So again, dad moment. I'm sure I shed a tear, so take my man card.
I was just going to suggest to bring some Kleenex with yourself.
No, I lose my man card every time I go see her perform because it is what it is.
I know.
I tear up at her.
I used to like get teary-eyed just watching Preston play lacrosse. Like I would just be like, he's so good. He's so good. Stupid. Yeah. It's just cool to see your kids succeed.
But I earned my man card back yesterday. I did something I don't normally do. I did work with my hands. Now look at these hands. There's not a callus on them.
Oh my gosh.
Very silky smooth, and it's not just from the lotion. But my daughter's bed broke because Lucy, the 10-year-old, jumped on Bella, the 15-year-old's bed. And these days, the beds are crap. They have wooden slats under the mattress to hold the mattress up. The slats cracked right in the center of the bed. So it was like a little soup bowl or whatever my daughter was sleeping in. So I could not stand to see her do that. So I went down to the Home Depot. Not a sponsor, but could be. But I went down to the Home Depot. I bought some wood. I cut some wood to size. And I didn't just put the slats in her bed like they had it. I put slats across the entire damn bed. There's not a way that those things are moving. And if anybody breaks those, they'd have to be doing something really, really bad. Girl is sleeping on a flat bed tonight.
Wow.
So there you go.
And last night, right?
Well, she didn't sleep in the bed last night.
Oh.
Yes, I repaired the bed last night, and then she decided to sleep in my bed. So guess who got to sleep in hers? Me.
Good thing you had fixed it.
Good thing I fixed the bed. Otherwise, I would have been
so
like,
really you're getting tired of sleeping in the soup bowl.
Yeah. I would not sleep in the soup bowl. No. And then she had a friend sleep over, and her bed has a trundle, and so we pulled it out so they could sleep on that. And I came in the next day to wake them up for breakfast or whatever, and they're in the soup bowl. I don't know.
I know. It's like too much trouble for them or something. Hannah and her friends, they packed like 8 kids in the room one night. In the old house, Hannah's bedroom was, it was a normal size, but nothing oversized. So for 8 kids to be in there, and then they all pour out. Well, first of all, they're all on the floor. Some have pillows, some don't. Some have like little thin blankets. Some have thick blankets. Like just
no
hodgepodge.
Rhyme or reason for anything.
No. And then they all come out and they're like, "We're so hot." I'm like, "Yeah, you got 8 people in there." Yeah, it's gonna get hot. You probably need to crack a door open or put the fan on, crack a window. Oh my gosh!
God forbid somebody farts. Forget it.
It's a bunch of girls. It's not going to happen.
Of course it will. George, thank you. Appreciate the congratulations to my daughter, and he also says congratulations to your son.
Well, no, he says congratulations to our daughter.
Congratulations. Is there something we need to talk about?
Oh, and he also did. Yes, he acknowledged Preston as well, saying he must be very intelligent. And I think the kid is very smart, actually.
Wicked smart.
He's wicked smart.
Wicked smart.
That's right. That's my kid. It's from his mama.
It's all about the mama. The last thing I wanted to mention is I had a chance to talk with Gina Fritz this past Monday.
Oh, nice.
She apologized for the rescheduling back and forth. It's been a long time. She's been trying to get on the show for a little bit. And we finally coordinated our schedules and got her on the show.
Coordinated.
Got to talk to her. She's another hard rock metalish singer, female-fronted rock band. Nice. I like it. I played it for a friend of mine. He goes, "It sounds like the other one you like." He was talking about Hailstorm. So I'm like, yeah, there you go.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Good thing. So she was on. She told some good stories. George says, "Ha ha ha, my mistake."
Yeah.
It's all right, George. I'll share her. You can take her. Yeah. I will warn you. She costs a lot. Not to purchase her. I'll just let you have her. But the maintenance on that girl is high.
Well, the maintenance is high. I think the emotional maintenance is high too, right?
Yeah, well, by far. Oh
Oh my gosh, when I saw the picture of the 3 girls, I was like, yes, That's my one. That's the one I connect with.
Bella, I will tell you, here, a little plug for my daughter. One thing she's very much into is sign language. I don't know why. I don't know where this came from. I don't know why she picked it up, but she's been doing it for years, and she's very, very good at it. But she does cover tunes of songs. So she did a cover tune of the Goo Goo Dolls song, Iris. And people picked up on it, and they started duetting her because of how good of a job she did on it.
Oh, wow.
So another shameless plug that made me lose my man card. It's all right.
Aw.
I'll learn it back, I swear.
Daddy.
All right.
No.
All right. Well, we have reached the top of the hour. Have we? Have we, though? No, because once again, we're at the bottom of the hour. We have reached the bottom of the hour, which does mean we have reached the end of the show. If you've enjoyed the show, tell a friend, Miss Tiffany. If you have not,
Tell two.
tell two. And as always, you can reach out to both of us over at jfrenzy.com. We will be happy to keep this conversation going. And you can also join us on the socials. Join us on Instagram. See some pictures, comments, reach out to us, talk to us. We would like that.
Would we?
Yeah, it's more work, but
Yes, we would.
we would love it. I like feedback. I like getting feedback. We get some really good
I do
feedback
too.
this week and stuff. I'm happy. Makes me smile. Anyways, makes me lose my man card. George says he loves us both. See that?
Aw, we love you too, George.
And he didn't even have to go on Instagram to do it. He did it right here live on the show. All right, Miss Tiffany, you have any final words for us?
Yes, do not forget to support the artists you love. They are what keeps the industry thriving.
On that note, folks, have a good day.
Thanks for listening to The Jay Franzi Show. Make sure you visit us at jfranzi.com. Follow, connect, and say hello. This episode has been brought to you by VR Knives, your source for 100% custom knives made by a true rock star. So, if you're in the market for a new piece of art, reach out to VR Knives. 407-421-5528. 407-421-5528.